Mark, for the second game in a row, you're going to a club who might perceive themselves to be in the wrong place in football's pecking order. I think Pompey would say that they ought to be higher than League Two, and probably Oxford think the same.
Yeah, two big clubs, but you are where you are, and you've got to deal with it. You know, they're having a good season. Perhaps not had the results that I've wanted of late, but you know, they're still in a good position, and it'll be a tough game.
Have they lost a bit since Chris Wilder's gone, do you think?
I don't know. They lost a good manager, I'll give them that, but you know, the players are the same. You know, Mickey and Andy Melville have gone in there, done a really good job, carried it on. It's just a really tight league, and we have to just go to concern about ourselves again, putting the same performances we did against Portsmouth, and if we can, you know, start finishing some of the chances that we're creating, you know, even better. But we look solid, organised, and hard working, which is where you've got to be for any League Two game.
Some members of the media had you linked with the Oxford post when Chris left. Was that just paper talk?
Certainly was, yeah.
So the fact that they haven't appointed since that door was never open as far as you were concerned?
Not at all, no, absolutely.
What you can identify with probably with them is though that they do better away from home than at home, and that's
where
you.
We are,
that's
yeah.
you at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah, we are at the minute. So we've got to try and take full advantage of that. I saw them a couple of times recently. Good side. Johnny Mullins at the back organised them, and is competitive, and they normally have 4 forwards on the pitch. They got some good players, and like I said, they're in the middle of a decent season. We've just got to make sure that we apply ourselves like we did Saturday, with the same work rate, commitment, effort, and if we do that, and just, you know, there's some good signs on Saturday, and ones that we can build upon.
I saw yesterday Burnley had played, I think, the same side for the last 8 matches, which probably accounts for their good run. Are you tempted to stick with what you finished with?
Yeah, we'll have a look at 1 or 2 today. Yeah, well, there's 1 or 2 bumps and kicks that we received, but you know, it won't be wholesale changes. We have got a run of games where they're coming thick and fast, Tuesday, Saturdays, but you know, we're right at the start of that now. So, you know, if I can pick the same team, then you know, it won't be far away.
If not the same side, you've used the same shape for the last few games, haven't you?
Yeah, we have, and I think it just suits where we are at the minute. We're playing some decent football, but we're looking organised, competitive, and you know, bar 10 minutes against Chesterfield, which was crazy. You know, we've been pretty good for 5 or 6 games now. In
terms of what you said after the Newport game, which was, you know, in effect the playoffs have gone. Do you still think
our aim is 8th in the table right this moment in time, and until, you know, we can change those goals, that's what I'm looking to do. Finish strongly, finish positively. You know, everyone's got something to play for, and I want to finish 8th.
And do you include in that the players whose contracts are up, for example?
Of course I do. Yeah, you know, we all have something to prove, to play for, you know, and that has to be our aim over the remaining 12 games. You know, we're not going to we don't want the season to peter out. You know, we're how many points away from 3rd bottom of the table, and that's how tight. You know, 3 points. It's ridiculously tight. Nobody wants to be there, you know, but we're also so close to 8th as well. So, you know, we want to finish strong. We want to finish well, and 8th is our goal right this moment in time.
Have you started having conversations with the boys that are out of contract this summer?
1 or 2, but that's it. You know,
too much to concentrate on still.
Absolutely, far too much. You know, football's the main. You know, games are, like I said earlier, coming around duty Saturday for the next 3 weeks. So that'll take. You're always, as a club, as a manager, as you know, the board. You're always things are always going on behind the scenes. It's just. We need to concentrate on our football.
Mark, is Sam Deering going to be all right? Because he obviously came off.
I think so. He's one that we need to have a look at. He got a whack, and we'll see. He thinks he will be at the moment, but he's not been out on the grass yet, so we'll see how he is.
Yeah. Do you think he's been showing a bit of a different side to his game the last in that role?
Yeah. Well, we've asked him to do various roles throughout the season, and you know, Sam's a good all-round footballer, and at the minute he's in the team doing a different role to perhaps what people expect from him, but he's been doing it well. I thought him and Matty were excellent on Saturday.
Yeah, and Oxford, you've done all right there, haven't you? Since you should have probably won the first time. I think missed a penalty. Wes Thomas missed a penalty, and then you went a really good result.
Yeah,
but edged out last season.
Yeah, we've done all right. It's about this team against their team now. You know, they've got some new faces. We've got plenty of new faces from our last encounters. So it's a tough game. You know, they'll want to bounce back from a defeat. You know, I saw some highlights, and although Burton started well, Oxford finished well and could have got something. So everything's really tight. And when we get a chance, we've got to make sure that we take it, and we've got to be as resolute and as solid as we were on Saturday too. We had one scare where we had a bit of a goal mouth scramble. Apart from that, we defended really well.
Yeah, and I think, have you seen that back on the DVD? Because Elliot made the block, and everyone was. You could see how much it meant to them, couldn't you? At the end
absolutely,
of the game?
they were all man hugging each other, which is brilliant. You see the rugby the boys, the passion that they play with yesterday and stuff like that, and it means something. Everything means something. And a little, Stevie was my back four were brilliant on Saturday, I thought, and a little deflected shot that Stevie gets a little knee to and clears it. It just shows in the 88th minute what it meant to the players that they'd gone to a place in front of 17,500 and put in a decent performance that deserved at least a point. And it would have been desperately sorry for us not to come away with anything. But we showed some strength and character right at the end.
Yeah, when you put Sid on against Newport, I remember you saying that it was only really his defending that you were a bit worried about. But at left back, he seems to concentrate on that.
He does, yeah. There's something in that. He just seems to concentrate more. And that happens sometimes. Sido's a good player, decent defender, undoubted quality on the ball, but we just haven't been able to get the best out of him all the time. And as have we all. We've all been guilty of making mistakes this season. I took him out the firing line for a couple of games, but just felt we needed his experience and steadiness back in there. He's a calm head. He loses it every now and again, but more with himself, and just makes one or two rash decisions. But he's a good player.
Yeah, is he one of the ones who's got a bit of work to do before he persuades you that he's doing your deal?
I think we, I just want to concentrate on football, John. We'll talk. We need to sit down with a couple. But we're no rush. Everyone's still got things to play for.
Yeah.
What was one more about Sido? Something that came out at the forum last week, actually, and somebody said that the Pack Pen Summerfield midfield was effectively a ball player and two athletes. Someone said to me yesterday, would Sido be an athlete who you could play in the middle? Is he versatile enough?
Perhaps he could, yeah. I've seen him play for Bath in various positions, but it's not something I'm desperate to do. I think I've got enough decent midfield players, especially with Noble coming back.
It was just a concept, that was all,
Yeah.
which I thought was interesting, because his athleticism is one of his main strengths.
Yeah.
Great.
It's like that.
Thank you.